Yo, what's going on, y'all?
What's happening, party people?
Welcome to another episode live stream. Facemask Fantasy, you already know. Week 13, last show of the week. Still waking up over here.
You're waking up.
Yeah, you too. Both of us.
Got my little 7 a.m. action going on.
Yeah, what's going on Iron?
That's okay. Pull this stream up. Iron, what's happening? Good to see you, man.
Yes, sir. What's going on, Breezy? Episode. Yeah, see? Yeah. It's early. It's early.
Yeah, you already.
But we're here. We're here, as always.
That's okay. But that's okay. Because there are still things to talk through. There are still things to sort out, as everybody, or as a lot of people surely, like we talked about yesterday, are looking to either clinch a playoff spot or maybe more importantly, stay alive in the playoff race. Yep. So you guys know what's at stake as it pertains to your situation. Let us know. Give us as much context as you possibly can. If you have questions about who to start, who to sit, what is your situation? What does your opponent's team look like? Do you need upside? Can you play it safe? Do you have your playoff spot locked in? Are you a game out? Are you in the driver's seat, but you haven't clinched yet? Like, as much context as possible goes a long way in us hopefully being able to help you guys out.
Absolutely. And just to go over some of the news that came out overnight, basically. Yep. No news yet on Joe Mixon, so we're still waiting on Joe Mixon news, but it looks like Deebo Samuel is going to play. Looks like Jerry Jeudy is going to play. Looks like Antonio Gibson is going to play, so slight downgrade to Brian Robinson for the rest, for week 13. Yep. ETN, there was no question really, but he is playing. The official news, he is expected to play. So no change there. Darius Slayton expected to play. Mm-hmm. So that we can, I think, write him into our lineups. There was a question last night as to whether or not you swerve to Richie James. I think it's fine. Darius Slayton, fine. Michael Gallup, for anybody who was going to be relying on him, he is available. Didn't get too many questions about him last night, but he is expected to play. Josh Jacobs, there is optimism. That's the direct quote. So
I gotta think that was load management this week over anything else, and I could be wrong about that, but like they gave, he had 300 scrimmage yards last week. I think. Yeah,
I don't think they're worried about his conditioning, right?
Now I will say, last night I think somebody had a choice between. They had a lot of good options at running back. It might have been like Sad J, about ETN versus like a Kenneth Walker. I think I last night said ETN.
Kenneth Walker's safer.
I may opt for the guy who's just straight up not on the injury report.
Yeah.
Like, that's all it comes down to. ETN is super enticing, a big time play, can give you a huge PPR week. We saw that 3 straight weeks not too long ago this season.
And remember, the coaching staff said that he could go back in. Doug Peterson said that he could have gone back in, and they just held him out of pure caution. So that is just another check in the pro, in terms of pros and cons in the pro section for ETN. But he does still come in with a little bit of a questionable tag, just by nature of how it ended last
Right.
time.
He's literally questionable on the injury report. And then, so just to that point, we don't know, will he see his normal workload, or will JaMychal Hasty mix in a little bit more? So, if it's like him versus a Kenneth Walker, with the Rams down Aaron Donald and basically not playing for anything at this point in the season, a guy like Walker feels safer.
Yep.
So those are the different variables that come into play here when you're trying to figure these types of things out. Obviously, it doesn't always play out that way. ETN could pop off today on limited touches, but just going into the game, knowing the information that we have, knowing the details that we have, just again, these are just best educated guesses, right? At the end of the day. So go with your gut. Always go with your gut. We just hope that we can help to steer you in the right direction as we march toward the playoffs.
And Michael Carter is not expected to play, so upgrade to Bam Knight.
Yep.
And
Upgrade
interesting news, and doesn't really pertain to anything going on for the rest of the year, but interesting news that it looks like the Niners are intrigued, at least by the possibility of signing Jimmy G past this season, which would obviously be an indictment on Trey Lance. But we'll get there when we get there. Just an interesting piece of news.
Where'd that come from?
That it's on RotoWire or NBC Sports Edge.
Yeah.
Yep. Ian Rappaport.
Man, that would be
both sides open to returning in 2023.
That would be a hell of an indictment on the move that they made to go get Trey Lance. But
yeah, because then at that point, really, I mean, yes, there is a difference between Trey Lance and Jordan Love, but if we're waiting until 2024 for Trey Lance, I mean,
a lot of draft capital to
give
up. I
mean,
it could ultimately still end up being worth it, but long way to go in that development. They should have just stood pat, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. But we got a bunch of questions already piling up in the chat, so let's get to it. Iron, again, good to see you. Breezy, good to see you. Yo, full PPR. Pacheco or Rashad White? Tough with Lenny coming back and it being a Monday Night Football game. Yeah. Yes, sir.
So I do think I would go Pacheco here. It is notable that Leonard Fournette is questionable for Monday night. So I said this on the stream yesterday. I will double down on it. I do think even with like a quote unquote healthy Leonard Fournette, I think Rashad White is the 1A now. I do believe that.
If they were smart, that would be how they go about it. It could just be 50-50 split again. And that's kind of what I'm thinking they're going to do because football coaches.
Right.
And I think it's going to be more like Javonte Williams and Melvin Gordon from last season, which still Rashad White can do a lot of damage just with a 50% snap share. So,
and Pacheco's not getting, that's the other thing. Pacheco himself is not getting more than a 50% snap share.
Right. In full PPR, you might want Rashad White as the upside play.
Yeah. Like even last week when Pacheco smashed, right? Like 69 yards, literally smashed. Nice. And a touchdown. This was done on 51% of the snaps. He didn't get 65 or 70% of the snaps. He got 51% of the snaps. And that was with Clyde Edwards-Helaire on injured reserve. Like Ronald Jones mixed in for the literal first time this year and chipped in 14% of the snaps. So Pacheco is still, and I guess things could change today, but we have to keep in mind in a matchup against Cincinnati where we can expect points to be scored, we might see a little extra Jerick McKinnon today. So I think Pacheco is the safe play. I think Rashad White is the upside play.
How many games has Leonard Fournette missed? Has it just been one?
It's just been the one.
Right, because, all right, so going back to week 10, he played, Rashad White played 64% of snaps, 22 rush attempts, 105 yards, no receiving work, which is what we're really expecting as the floor for Isaiah Pacheco. But we know that Rashad White comes with 9 target ceiling. Not that he's going to get in a game where Leonard Fournette is back, but he could get 5. And Isaiah Pacheco isn't probably slated to get that work.
No, he might get 1 catch.
So I think actually in full PPR, you should be playing Rashad White, not Isaiah Pacheco.
Rashad White.
Yeah, by the numbers over the past 2 weeks, Rashad White's floor is Isaiah Pacheco's floor. In PPR, I want the guy that's going to be catching passes.
Yeah, and Fournette is again listed as questionable.
Yep.
Obviously Leonard Fournette versus Jerick McKinnon. The answer is Leonard Fournette, but McKinnon's not on the injury report, at least not to my knowledge. Just talking about the alternative options in the backfield. So let me just double check McKinnon. Yeah, McKinnon's not on the injury report. I would expect him to mix in a little bit more today in a game where we expect points to be scored.
And speaking of mix in, Jay, we still don't know any news about Mixon. So Perrine, I'm speculatively having Perrine in there. But I mean, I think
at this point you can fire up Samaje if you have him.
Yeah. If we do end up hearing some news in between now and 1 p.m. kickoff, then I would swerve to Zay Jones. But tentatively, I have Perrine in that spot.
I might just put Samaje in at this point, regardless, because Zay Jones himself is on the injury report with a chest injury.
And we haven't gotten any news on him yet. True.
I think I might just play Samaje, Jay. I might just play Samaje Perine, even if Mixon is good to go, because when you're this close, when you're this up against it, it's like, how healthy are you? Right? Like, we're waiting until the very last minute for him to get cleared out of concussion protocol. It's a dangerous game to play in today's NFL. Not just for us as fantasy players, for the literal team, for the Bengals. True. You know, obviously they want to have their guy out there. They want to have their top option out there, but you're playing with some fire if you are rushing a guy back from a concussion. Because everybody recovers from concussions differently. It's not a one-size-fits-all 1 week absence.
True.
You know?
Yep.
I think I
don't know. I don't have the number on how many concussions Mixon has sustained over the course of his career, going back to college or anything. It's not his first one. It isn't. Right. I would have suspected as much. Yeah. Right.
It is not his first one. And on top of this, again, they're playing the Kansas City Chiefs. Samaje operates as their third down back when Mixon is healthy. So he's going to have a role regardless. And in this game, given the circumstances and those options, I think at this point, I'm just plugging Samaje in, even if Mixon is cleared to play. I think I just play Samaje. There's a non-zero chance that Mixon gets cleared today and Samaje still operates as gets more snaps. Maybe not more touches, but more snaps.
If Zay Jones is cleared and Mixon is cleared, I am swerving to Zay Jones if I get that news in time.
All right.
But, I mean, I don't hate staying with Perrine either. But Dill Nye was going on. Khalid again was going on. Iron, just be wary of starting a rookie in his first game. You have to be wary. Yeah. Coming off of an injury like that, you have to be wary.
He might see 20 snaps.
Yeah, I'm thinking more like less than 10, honestly, if they're smart.
He might see more than that, but I wouldn't say more than 20. Somewhere between 10 and 20, I guess.
Yeah, and Dill Nye, Olave, Pickens, Miles Sanders, Latavius Murray, Zay Jones at the flex, playing Perrine over Sanders as the RB2. Fair for right now. Until we get some news. Olave is enticing. No Juwan Johnson.
What's the scoring?
But didn't Miles Sanders have a boom week last week?
Yeah, he had a huge game against. I would not play Miles Sanders today against the Titans. Much tougher matchup. The Titans are very good against the run. The Packers, who Miles Sanders had a great game against, are terrible against the run. So I'm fine with Samaje. I would probably go Pickens here in the flex against Atlanta. I want a receiver against the Falcons, personally.
Yeah, I mean, I can't hate really on either of these options. I'm just going with the guy that's
Olave, yeah.
To this point in the season gotten more points on the year, so and has more touchdown equity in this offense now with no Juwan Johnson, who's been a huge touchdown getter for them over the last 6 games.
Yeah. Yeah, that certainly gives him a bit of a boost.
And they're going to be down, so they're going to be throwing all game.
Yeah.
So I'm going Olave.
Olave's fine. I think I would prefer Pickens here, but I'm fine with either one of those receivers in your flex.
Yep.
And I think I would actually leave Samaje in. I guess. Yeah. Well, here's the thing. Remember, Miles Sanders plays in the 1 o'clock window. The Bengals don't play until 4:25, so you are risking Mixon being activated after Sanders goes. That's all. But I'm okay with playing Samaje this week. That being said, it is a much tougher matchup for Sanders this week against Tennessee, who have a great run defense.
And King Marcelo need 3 wide receivers and 1 flex. Debo, not sure if he's playing. It looks like he is.
It looks like he's going to give it a shot.
Godwin, Pickens, People-Jones. So I'm playing the first 3.
Now,
would you play Debo coming off of an injury, or Josh Palmer filling in for Mike Will? That's a question.
Debo
That's a legit question for me, because Debo hasn't really, outside of one game, been effective and now he's banged up coming back from an injury. I don't know if I want to rely on him in that spot.
Mm-hmm. If you can play it safe, King, again, context is key here. You know your matchup and your situation better than we do. If you feel like you can play it safe, I would probably go Godwin, Pickens, Palmer, Pacheco. If you need to swing for the fences, if you need the upside that Debo, while it hasn't been there week to week this year like it has been or like it was last year, but if you need the upside, if you're like, I'm an underdog, I need my best, I need to take my best chances, Debo, Godwin, Pickens, Pacheco. But if you think you can play it safe, maybe you're a favorite, then I would play Palmer over Debo.
Yeah, I mean, Palmer has, honestly, on the season, one more top 12 week than Debo does.
There you go.
Yeah, crazy. Mike Lopez, good to see you. Crumpy Heads, what's up with Burks? I mean, I think he's the wide receiver 1 in that offense moving forward. That's pretty clear. His volatility is going to be evident based off of whether or not he gets a touchdown. If he gets a touchdown, he's fine. If not, you're probably going to be looking at, 5 for 70.
As far as his availability, he was on the injury report earlier in the week with an illness, but he was removed on Friday. So if you're worried about if this is what's going on as far as his availability, he's going to go. There's no concerns there. It's a tough matchup by the numbers, but they're going to be throwing all day. Well, that's not true. They have Derrick Henry. The Titans are never going to throw all day, no matter what. But they're going to have to throw.
And he's going to be the main beneficiary of that.
Right. Again, his results last week were a little fluky. Remember, right? He recovered a touchdown in the end zone because Derrick Henry fumbled it on the goal line. So, a little fluky, but that doesn't mean he can't get a traditional receiving touchdown. A little bit tougher today, going against Slay or Bradbury. But I think he's a wide receiver 3 if you need it.
And I'm just looking ahead just a little bit to Trey S's question here to see what Devonta Smith has been doing over the last few weeks. Gotta love those target allotments, 8, 9, and 9. It's just he's had floor weeks of 10, 10, and 7. I think still in PPR, considering he's getting 8, 9, and 9 targets, you got to start him in ETN. I think if it start 2 ETN and Devonta Smith, because I'm fine with the floor week of 10. I'm fine with the floor week of 7 if you can, because he's a guy that can get you a wide receiver 1 overall week, like he did in week 3.
He did it once. Yeah, I don't know if we can expect overall.
No, but he's at least shown elite upside.
Sure.
Which I'm willing to ride behind in full PPR in my lineup.
It's a great matchup too.
Yep.
It's a great matchup.
Yep.
Yeah.
And Crumply had Slayton's healthy, so he's playing. He's expected to play.
Yeah, he's in. It sounds like he's in.
Yeah. So he's I think a high end wide receiver 3.
Mm-hmm.
But ETN and Devonta Smith, man. And
yeah.
Tua or Dak. Tua, I think.
Tua, it's a much tougher matchup, but Tua's been the better quarterback this year. Now, it is noteworthy the Dolphins appear to be down both of their starting tackles today. So the offensive line is not going to be 100% for the Dolphins.
So he might need to scramble more and has a little bit more of a rushing floor. Cool.
Or maybe, yeah, maybe he runs a little extra.
Yeah.
Tua gets the ball out fast anyway. I think faster than any other NFL quarterback. So, him making his reads is not as much of a concern. It is noteworthy, though. I mean, anytime starters are down along the offensive line, you want to call something like that out. I would expect Tua has to do more today than Dak does against the Colts. I would probably just go Tua and hope for the best.
Yeah, probably the best move.
Mm-hmm.
Crumpy heads, I would go Swift.
I mean, yeah, there I'm going Swift.
Yep.
What's happening, B3 Solo?
What's going on, B3? Need a tight end. Pitt's hurt. And Njoku out this week. Eyeing Fant, Foster, and Hooper. Go Foster, man. Go get Foster Moreau.
Mm-hmm. Go Foster Moreau.
And Senor Rojo, is there anybody else that you can play besides those two?
I mean, Carter is the at least the safer option. Didn't he catch a touchdown last week?
He did.
Maybe not last week, but the week before.
He had a good game, I believe, last week because Everett and Palmer did not. I think it was Carter who went off last week.
Carter did well last week. Yeah.
Yep.
7 catches for 73 yards and a touchdown on 10 targets.
Yeah.
Carter. If there's nobody else in your, I would go Carter. I would not play JMO today.
Yep.
Let's wait a week on him.
And Carter, ETN or Pierce? I'm going ETN for sure.
Yeah, I mean, Pierce has a great matchup against Cleveland, but ETN's upside is higher. There's nothing scary about a matchup against Detroit.
Yeah, ETN doesn't have a 3-point floor. Pierce does.
Yeah, I guess he does.
Yeah, that's the deciding factor for me. I don't want to play a running back that has a floor of 3 when I can play a running back that has a floor of 8 to 10.
Yeah, ETN's floor is higher.
And I'm never expecting a floor game from ETN. I'm expecting at least, 12, 15 points, something in there.
Mm-hmm.
Michael Bernardo, good to see you. Non-PPR, Perrine over Jeff Wilson, Pacheco, or Rashad White if Mixon doesn't play. Yes. Yep.
And you have the luxury of knowing that situation real time because all of those guys play in the 4 p.m. slot or later. Rashad White's on Monday night. So, yeah, if Mixon is out, Samaje. If Mixon is in standard, Pacheco.
Yeah, I guess.
What did you do?
Kind of talked myself. I mean, yes, in full PPR, I talked myself into Rashad
White.
But
you were on Pacheco yesterday.
Yeah, I know. But looking at the numbers of the last game that Rashad White had with Leonard Fournette, and seeing that he had 22 rush attempts and then went over 100 yards in his own right, that's what we want from Pacheco.
From any running back. I will say that was the game that Fournette got injured in when he suffered the hip injury. He did leave that game early. Not super early, like he was still playing in the second half, but Fournette did leave. That was the game where Fournette got injured and he left early. So Rashad White got all of the opportunities on the Bucs' final few drives.
Gotcha.
So yeah, it still resulted in 22 touches. I don't want to take anything away from Rashad White. You know how I feel about Rashad White.
I guess in non-PPR, smart play Pacheco. He did have 22 rush attempts, I believe, in his own right, and had a touchdown last week. 60
He may
yards.
see more snaps to McKinnon today going against a high-octane offense in the Bengals.
Yeah.
But in standard, I do think he's perfectly safe in that offense.
Levi Carber, pick 2, Pacheco, Jamal Williams, Damian Pierce, Rashad White, full PPR. Jamal Williams and Rashad White.
Yeah, full PPR. This is where I want to go Rashad.
Yeah.
Over Pacheco. And Jamal Williams at home just has to be in your lineup. He's been an RB1 this year.
Yep. And Hunter L. Yes, it does look like Hunter? Chase is playing.
It looks like it. The last I saw is that he's going to go. And they don't play until 4:25. Is there any latest on him? No limitations expected. Yeah, I think we can confidently pencil him in. I think we can confidently pencil Chase in.
And John S. Cam Akers or A.J. Dillon? I mean,
Dillon.
Low upside plays both of them.
But I'll go Dillon. Kyron Williams out touched Cam Akers last week.
Yeah. AJ Dillon.
I would go Dillon. This team, I think, has soured on Cam Akers. This team is going the Rams seem to have the Rams seem to have a track record of hating the running backs that they draft.
Yeah, we talked about that last week. Yeah.
So I would go Kyron Williams as they're in evaluation mode. That's what I would do. I would go Dillon. I think I would go Dillon over Akers just because I don't know that the team Akers might get you 50 yards maybe. I think that's his upside.
Yeah, 50 to 60 yards. You're hoping for a touchdown, but that's not guaranteed with Bryce Perkins. I guess it's John Warford at the helm, but still.
Yeah.
AJ Dillon.
I would go Dillon.
Better offense, everything. Better everything.
Better matchup.
Better everything.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Finn Strom, Fields or Dak, 4-point QB.
For passing, Fields.
Safe play, Dak, if you really don't have to press it. But, I mean, Fields is the high upside play. He is coming back from an injury, and to a significant-ish injury, at least, because he was, they were questioning his season after the injury was sustained. Now, he's fine enough to come back this week. But, yeah, safe play, Dak. Ceiling play, Fields, if you really need to win this week and you need to eke one out against your opponent.
Yep.
Feverish Finaro, Carr, Cousins, and Brady starting 2.
The first 2. Carr and Cousins. I don't trust Brady. I mean, Brady can give you 17. What did he do against New Orleans? His first matchup, that he had 10 points against them earlier in the year.
Brady is leading the league in yards again and passing yards. He's throwing a lot.
Is he?
So he does have a safe floor, but his ceiling is kind of non-existent this season.
I mean, he actually had his best statistical performance last week for the first time, since week 4 against Kansas City. Since then, 17 points, 15 points, 18 points, 10 points, 13 points.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He had and these are all floor games because you look, it's one touchdown, one touchdown. If he can find a way to more than one touchdown, he does have old Brady upside. Old Brady, I mean Brady from last season upside.
Yeah.
The problem is he's not having more than one touchdown games. When he is, 31 points, 20 points, 22 points. He can get there if he scores more than one touchdown, because he's getting he's throwing for a floor of 44 passes.
Yeah, 250 passing yards is something that you can chalk up for him. 250 yards is something you can chalk up for him.
Higher ceiling plays are Carr and Cousins.
Hard to trust him. Carr and Cousins are the higher ceiling plays.
But Brady is as safe a QB2 as you can get right now. Just based off of how many passes he's throwing in the game.
The risk tolerance thing.
Yeah.
So who's definitely in for you?
Cousins, because of the weapons.
Cousins is definitely in for me. And then
because
Carr is the upside play.
It really it depends on Lattimore. If Lattimore is playing,
which we might not know.
I like Brady more than I like Carr. If Lattimore isn't playing, I like Brady more than I like Carr. And then, flip side if he is.
Let me see if I can get an update on Marshawn Lattimore if you want to go to the next question.
B3 solo, 1 running back, 1 flex, 1 wide receiver. Perrine, Christian Watson, DeAndre Swift, Devonta Smith, Josh Palmer, and Rashad White. 1 running back, Perrine. And I think Nick would just leave Perrine in there. You do have Rashad White if you feel like swerving. And I think that's
Samaje, if Mixon is out, if he's ruled in, then you can pivot to Rashad White.
And I'm playing Christian Watson, and I think I'm playing Josh Palmer. But then if I need the moonshot play, I'm willing to go from Josh Palmer to Devonta Smith.
I think I'm just playing Devonta Smith over Palmer given the matchup against the Titans.
Fair. You think he's
okay,
due for an upside game?
This is easy. This is easy for me. B3 Watson Watson is one of your wide receiver, or Devontae Smith and Christian Watson take care of your wide receiver and flex spots. If Mixon is out, Samaje for your running back. If Mixon is in, Rachaad White on Monday night.
Yep.
And as far as Lattimore, he is officially questionable for this game after logging 3 limited practices this week. So I don't know if that means like the proverbial optimistic side of questionable, or how that goes, whatever. But it appears he's actually got a chance to play. And I got to think, for all the talk we've had this week about Mike Evans versus Marshawn Lattimore, there's certainly some incentive that Lattimore has. I'm sure he wants to play in this game. Especially we have to keep in mind, as it pertains to the NFC South, all of those teams are awful, but they're all still alive for the division.
True.
Even the Saints are 4-8. So every game matters for them, especially division games. So I do think I would just play it safe, and if I'm avoiding Mike Evans, I'm more likely to want to avoid Brady. So Cousins and Carr are fine for me. Just to go back to that.
Dan, I think I'm just playing Najee. We haven't gotten any word on Jalen Warren, but
I'm playing Najee.
I'm just playing Najee. He's hit his ceiling over the last few weeks with no Jalen Warren.
Yeah, and it's a great matchup.
Yep.
Nothing scary about the Falcons. Whereas Evans there's every reason to be a little bit worried about Mike Evans if, anytime he goes up against Lattimore.
He's never going to be efficient, but I mean, he's a very solid bet for a touchdown or two.
Yeah, Najee is a boring RB2, and that's not what you wanted when you drafted him, but it's not useless.
And Corey Jones, I think I'm going Derek Carr. I think I'm going Derek Carr. I like what Jimmy G's been doing. Miami is the matchup they're going to have to keep up with. But you could say the same thing about Derek Carr versus the Chargers. I think I'm just going Derek Carr this week.
Carr does have a decent matchup against the Chargers, which he did. That was week 1 of the season. For these two teams met week 1 of the season. Carr had 295 passing yards, 2 passing touchdowns. He also had 3 interceptions, but he also had his full complement of weapons in that game.
Derek Carr passes for 32 attempts per game on average, whereas Jimmy G 27.5 attempts on average.
Might have to do a little bit more of that today against the Dolphins.
Might. I think I'm going Derek Carr, though.
It looks like there's a little bit of rain in the forecast in San Francisco, but typically, generally speaking, rain clears out as the day moves along. So I wouldn't be too worried about that. Yeah, I would probably just... It is a great matchup for Jimmy G, and he has actually done quite well in plus matchups and favorable matchups this year. But he's not... I think their floors are comparable, and Carr has a higher ceiling.
Yep.
So I'm fine with Carr.
Trey S, full PPR, Olave or Devonta Smith? It really depends. I mean, Devonta Smith's ceiling, Olave kind of floor, and I think I'm just going. Is it crazy this week? I think I'm just going Devonta Smith.
Might be a little crazy. Olave is safer with a high floor. Devontae Smith has a lower floor, but given the matchup and the offense, has a higher ceiling. So Trey, it's kind of like it's a combination of risk tolerance and what you think you need. If you think you can get away with 10 to 15 points, Olave should be able to provide that very safe floor for you with plenty of upside for a little bit more. It's a tougher matchup by the numbers, but with upside for a little bit more, he should be able to give you 10 to 15 in full PPR. Smith might give you 7, but he might give you 20.
Yeah, I mean, his target floor with no Dallas Goedert has been great, and I think he can score a touchdown today. So if he gets his targets that he normally gets the average of what he's normally gotten, gets the touchdown, you're looking at a 15 to 18 point week, and he has the floor or the ceiling for a 25 point week. So I'm just going with Devonta Smith because I think Devonta and Olave, they're pretty close this week, and I like Devonta Smith's spike week potential here with a better quarterback.
There you go.
Will Connor, Christian Watson, or Mike Evans? I think you just roll with Christian Watson and set it and forget it.
It's wild that we're here.
Yeah.
But I guess that's fine. Yeah.
What are you hoping for Mike Evans? That he scores a touchdown? What's Christian Watson been getting?
I'm hoping that he's Mike Evans. You know what I mean? Like that's what I'm hoping for.
Against Lattimore, I mean.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, true. But Christian Watson, I think, just to be safe because he's such a solid swerve option.
Mm-hmm.
Mark, Justin Fields or Garoppolo at quarterback? Justin Fields.
Yeah.
If you can stack him with Komet, all the better.
Yeah.
Zonovan Knight or Latavius Murray? Zonovan, I think. That offense, I mean, when's the last time the Denver offense looked exciting at all to play in any player in fantasy?
Last year when Drew Lock was the quarterback.
Right. Mike White has the Jets looking like a legit NFL offense, so I want to have the RB1, the presumptive RB1 in that offense. Zonovan Knight.
I would go Murray as your floor play. Knight is a little bit more all or nothing for me. Again, I said this yesterday. I don't want to discredit the potential that Ty Johnson gets in there more in a matchup against a much better offense on the road than what the Jets faced last week. I just want to caution that. Murray is not going to come off the field for Mike Boone or Marlon Mack, or Mike Boone's still on IR.
But hey, earlier in the year when they were rolling out Flacco at quarterback and they had Breece Hall and Michael Carter, when Breece Hall was getting 9 targets a game, Michael Carter was still had 2 touchdown upside because he was the red zone running back. And this offense is humming right now, or at least looks to be with Mike White at the helm. So I think I like Zonovan Knight's upside. Latavius Murray doesn't have all that much upside to me. And in terms of Josh Palmer and Cortland Sutton, I think I just go Josh Palmer because we've seen him having a 100-yard, 2-touchdown game. Cortland Sutton, we haven't seen that. And what's the floor for Cortland Sutton? What he's been doing, 7 for 70. Josh Palmer got 5 for 50. I think I'm willing to roll with the slightly lower floor for Palmer and try to chase that 2-touchdown, 100 yards ceiling that he does have. In a divisional game, the DeAndre Carter might not get those 10 targets this week. It might be Josh Palmer.
I just want to. So Sutton is also on the injury report with an illness, but
looks like he's playing.
But there's optimism for him. I will just say, Baltimore is a top 4, top 5 matchup for opposing wide receivers. So yes, Russell Wilson stinks, but at least he's been capable enough to get Cortland Sutton the ball to the point where you don't maybe feel great about it, but you can play him. You can fire him up. He won't goose egg you. He won't totally submarine your week. I think given the matchup, I would play Sutton over Palmer.
Okay,
now,
so we're split
if
there.
I need some upside, if I do need some upside, if it's like I need a 20-point week, then I would roll the dice on Palmer. But Sutton can give you a steady floor in a great matchup. These are not the Ravens of old as far as their defense. This is a very gettable secondary.
I'll agree that, yes, the floor play Sutton, ceiling play Palmer. I guess I'm going for the ceiling play. But it is depending on your situation, what your lineup looks like and all that. So you got to make the decision there. But good luck, man. Hopefully we help.
And if Will has Devontae Smith, I would probably place, if I'm playing Watson over Mike Evans, I might play Smith over both. It's the all upside play, and it's a spectacular matchup by the numbers. I mean, I just got done talking about how the Ravens are a top 5 secondary to attack. The Titans are top 3. They're getting scorched.
You really can't go wrong with either.
I think I would just go Devontae Smith.
You really can't go wrong with either. I like them both. Yeah. I don't really know who to recommend. They seem like really similar wide receivers in terms of what they can give you.
Mm-hmm.
One's got 9 target floor. One seemingly gets a touchdown every game. Both have weak winning upside. I don't know who to point you towards, but either one of those guys over Mike Evans this week is fine. The Joker, Debo, Cortland Sutton, and Josh Palmer, full PPR, pick 2. We just talked about Cortland Sutton v. Josh Palmer, so you know there. And I think, honestly, this week you just roll with the 2 boring plays because Debo has been a low upside play weekly, only one spike week in the last 12, and coming off an injury. I think you just go with the 2 boring save plays because they do in full PPR present some upside.
Yep, that injury limited him last week. It could limit him again. It's a great matchup, but he's hard to trust right now. Sutton and Palmer, I think, are actually a little easier to trust. So, yeah, I think I would just rock with those 2.
Yep.
Feels weird, but Debo has not been 2021 Debo.
No, far from it. Far from it. Our conversations last offseason about speculating on whether or not you should be selling Debo after last season aged pretty well.
They came
but
to
Xavier,
fruition, yeah.
What's bracking?
About him. Yeah. What's happening, Xavier?
You already know. Pick 1, Flex, Gibby, Knight, or Pacheco, full PPR. Pacheco.
Pacheco. Yeah, Pacheco.
Yep.
Who's Washington playing today? The Giants. Yeah. Yeah.
Pacheco.
Gibson could mix in a little bit more today as a receiving back because it is not a great. It's a middling matchup by the numbers.
They get Logan Thomas back, so there's another tight end receiving weapon to throw in there and muddy the waters from a receiving perspective. So
he can get his 1 catch for 15 yards.
Yeah, he's just at least going to be taking some kind of targets away from him.
I don't put no disrespect to Logan Thomas, but I don't put much stock in Logan Thomas. I would play Pacheco because I know he's the dude. He's most likely of these 3 guys. He's most likely to be the guy. I'll go Pacheco.
And Logan Thomas, when healthy, has 3 games with 6 targets, so I'm just going to throw that out there in terms of taking targets away from Antonio Gibson. It does matter to a certain extent.
I'll reel in my Logan Thomas hate a little bit.
Is he going to be productive on those 6 targets? No, we'll agree there. Yeah. Hey, the Coopermans, what's going on?
What's happening, Coopermans?
In a PPR league, need to start 2 wide receivers, 1 running back, and a flex. DeAndre Carter, Lazard, Pittman, Devonta Smith, DJ Chark, Hasty, your boy, Pacheco, and Rashad White. 1 running back, 1 wide receiver, you're playing Devonta Smith. And then
Pittman?
Another wide receiver, you're playing Pittman. I'm playing both those guys.
2 wide receivers. Got it. Yeah.
1
Pittman
running back.
Yep.
I'm going Pacheco, and then in the flex, I think it's fun to play Rashad White.
Oh shoot, it's full PP. Oh yeah. Yes. Yep. Cool. Exactly. Yep. Pittman, Devontae Smith, Pacheco, Rashad White. You can play all 4. Those are the 4 I want to play.
Yep. And good luck. Good luck today, and everybody. Good luck in here.
Yep. Let's get these Romeo dubs.
Xavier, I'm always betting over on that for Saquon every day.
Saquon's been rock solid.
I'm betting that over on Saquon every day, but it doesn't matter the matchup. I don't care.
It's a bad matchup by the numbers.
I don't care. It's Saquon.
That's what I was about to say. You throw that out the window when it comes to Saquon.
With Slayton healthy, I like that. That helps.
Now, he has not, Saquon, gone over 100 yards or combined from scrimmage in 3 of his past 4 games. But I just wouldn't bet against Saquon in that scenario. If this is a prop bet or if it's a prop bet, I wouldn't take it personally. I wouldn't bet on it, Xavier, personally. But if this is just like, how well do we think Saquon is going to do today? It's Saquon. You can expect the ceiling at home every single week. Is it going to happen? Different story. But he has been there. He has delivered every single week this year.
I'm betting on him. I'm not. I would feel bad if he did it and I didn't bet on him. You know what I mean?
When did I do that? When did I do that video? Was that in July?
Must have been. Yeah.
You're too low on Saquon. Yeah.
Yep.
Not use it. Just anybody. Y'all are too low on Saquon. That also came to fruition.
Yep.
My take on Kyle Pitts, different story entirely. But we're gonna move on and not talk about that one.
One season too late or too early.
Yeah, maybe.
You know what we were saying about Adam Troutman, our take on that, wrong. Speaking of wrong takes, but I think we're a season too early on Pitts. But we saw his upside last year. Delusional Tanner, good to see you. Full PPR, sit 1. I'm sitting Jeff Wilson.
I'm sitting Jeff Wilson. I love the revenge game narrative, but it is as bad of a matchup as it gets going against the 49ers on the road. And I mentioned it a little earlier, for whatever it's worth. The Dolphins appear to be they're going to be missing both starting tackles today. So a difficult matchup got even tougher. Gets even tougher. Give me Najee, give me Rachaad White.
And in terms of 3.5 receiving yards for Brian Robinson, normally I would say yes, but he's only done that twice on the year. So, again, and normally I would say yes, but with Antonio Gibson back, I don't know if I can say that.
He just needs he just needs 1 4-yard catch.
I know, but look at his game logs.
I know.
Since he's come back, since week 5. I mean, that's a 7-game stretch. He's only done that in 2 of those games. And in one of those games, Antonio Gibson was not available.
Mm-hmm.
Or not utilized.
Or no, he was
available. But he was not utilized.
How much of that can be attributed to just like they're easy?
He just needs one pass.
Right. He
but
just
does
needs
he
1
get
4-yard catch.
Because week 10, week 11, week 8, week 6, week 5, none of those games was he targeted.
I'm taking that prop. Xavier. If this is a prop, like a player prop that you're like trying to, if you're putting a little player prop parlay together, I would take that.
Divisional game, you think it
1
happens?
4-yard catch? I'll roll the dice on that.
Go for it. Have fun with it.
I'll roll the dice on that. Yeah, that's the whole idea with these player props. Have
Just
fun
be
with
prepared that it is slightly an outlier. But
right, and Gibson is back, or Gibson is off the injury report, or expected to play. Actually, I don't think he's off the injury report yet, but he's expected to play.
And non-PPR, I would go Jamal I guess Jamal and Pollard.
Jamal and Pollard, and I'm playing Godwin over Olave.
I think so.
If it's Godwin is a wide receiver 1 and has recently been performing like it.
Should I start Godwin or Kenneth Walker and Tua or Fields? And do you think Josh Jacobs will play? Start that backwards. Yes, I think Josh Jacobs is going to play.
Yeah, there's optimism that he's going to be fine.
Yep. In terms of Tua or Fields, I think I would just play Tua. Because Fields is coming back from an injury.
Yeah,
and the upside is honestly, I think they're both top 3 in terms of upside.
Sure, they both have high upside, but Tua's got the much tougher matchup.
So if you need a ceiling week, Fields. If you're willing, if you're fine with, 20 points or whatever, then Tua.
Mm-hmm.
But Tua has 30-point upside as well. So.
Yeah, I would say Tua has the safer floor. I would say Fields has the higher ceiling.
But if you're worried at all about Fields coming back from an injury, just that is a possibility there. So you got to factor that into the equation. Makes it a little bit riskier to start him than any other given week. But Kenneth Walker or Godwin, what's the format, Bo?
What's the scoring, Bo? Yeah, I guess in full PPR or half PPR even, I want Godwin. In standard, Walker's a little bit more enticing. That being said, I love Chris Godwin, and I want him in my lineup.
In half PPR, I think I'm still going Kenneth Walker. But in full PPR, I'm going Godwin.
I think I would go Godwin in half PPR. And to be completely honest, I'm not unopposed to just firing Godwin up in standard either. I know it's Walker. It's a starting running back. He's been delivering. It's just Godwin.
I mean,
I'm pretty sure Godwin's on a recent heater. I know he popped last week.
He is, but I mean, so is Kenneth Walker, and he does come with a safer floor, but honestly, similar ceiling with what his usage has been. I just think he's in half PPR. He is the safer option with similar upside. In full PPR, Godwin, I'm fine. So we're split there in half PPR, depending on your format. Yeah, man, you know which way to go.
That's tough. Tough call.
And Senor Rojo, no, it's not.
Was that just like the options you have available to you?
Yeah, I guess.
So play. Who were the options? I'm blanking.
DeAndre Carter.
Oh yeah, just play Carter over.
Yeah.
Oh, it was JMO. Was it JMO? I think it was JMO. Yeah, just play Carter. Yep.
And Notorious TBG, good to see you.
What's happening, Notorious?
What's up? How are your main leagues going? Okay.
Poorly.
They're going okay for me.
I'm doing. I'll say this. I have one dynasty league now that I feel pretty solid about my team. I think I personally think I have a top 4 squad. Maybe not top 3, but I do think I'm firmly in the top 5. That team I feel good about. I got a couple other leagues that didn't quite. Well, one dynasty league I intentionally blew it up, so I couldn't care less about losses there. My keeper league, I think I built a good team. I was just the victim of, maybe I'm crying spilt milk here, but I just think I had bad luck. And I didn't have a great season. Shit happens. I'm not too bent out of shape about it. I have other teams that I care about that are doing well. But I've had better seasons as it pertains to my quote unquote main leagues. It's all right. It happens.
Yeah, and I mean, my seasons are going okay in a keeper league, the same one that I'm in with Nick. I'm one of those teams that's overachieving and don't expect to do much in the playoffs. But I should make the playoffs. But I honestly, like, if I lose in the first round, it's not going to be surprising me because my team isn't very strong. And then I got a dynasty league that I was expecting to be last in, and I'm not. And it's weird. Like I was expecting to just be the worst team in the league, and right outside of the playoffs as it stands right now, and then in another league, I'm a contender. So
that one you're a contender. Yeah, the one that I think the one where I would consider myself to have the best chance, that's where you're a contender as well. So
yeah,
we'll see how that plays out.
But no, I'm actively tanking this week in another league where I'm sitting all of my players that have been overachieving this year.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
What's the thinking there?
I don't want to make the playoffs in that league.
It's just a bad team. Okay, fair enough.
Yeah. My quarterback is Jacoby Brissett in that league, and I don't have a QB2 to go in over Jacoby Brissett, so I don't have a quarterback for the fantasy playoffs in that league. That's how bad that league is, or that squad is.
There you go.
Yeah. But they've been winning because, I don't know, fantasy is weird. But yeah, bottom line, TBG, our leagues are going.
We're all over the place.
Yeah.
They're all over the place. But we have ones that we care about where we're good in. So it's like, at the end of the day, that's all you can ask for. You have at least one team where you're like feeling good about.
And no Matic, PPR, need 2, Fournette, Patterson, Pacheco, Zonovan, Knight. The middle two.
Yup. Give me CPAT. Give me Pacheco.
Yep. And Xavier, the hype around David Bell he's a second-round pick, I believe. Wasn't he a second-round pick?
Second-round pick. Obviously, now he gets a significant quarterback upgrade.
Yeah.
There was, I think he's been, I'm pretty sure he's been in the game a lot recently. Let me double-check his recent snaps. Like, I think he's working his way into the rotation. Yeah. David Bell saw actually, it's been this way since week 6, somewhat quietly. He has seen 50% of the snaps or more in every game except for one since week 6. That one was week 8 where he saw 47, so just under. David Bell is regularly seeing 63% of the snaps. And now he gets like we just mentioned, a significant quarterback upgrade. He's running behind Amari Cooper and Donovan Peoples-Jones, but he is clearly running ahead of Anthony Schwartz. So with no David Njoku this week, yeah, I think the hype is fair. He's very intriguing. Let's put it that way. He's very intriguing.
Now, as a prospect, he got dinged because he ran a slow 40 at his pro day, 4.74.
Yeah,
but for
great, but
speed for wide receivers really doesn't matter, considering Keenan Allen 4.71, and he's one of the best wide receivers of the last decade. Anquan Bolden 4.72, one of the best wide receivers of the decade before Keenan Allen. So I mean, as long as you're a technician, which is what he is, said to be
a good possession receiver,
right? And then you're fine with the wide receiver who is as slow with that, as long as he gets open. And that's the upside with David Bell. You're hoping for a savvy wide receiver 2 option that can give you some wide receiver 1 spike weeks. Are we expecting that over the next 5 games? No. But high end wide receiver 3 value, I think he can hit that. Yeah.
We got a lot of questions in the chat. We appreciate everybody coming in, hanging out. Appreciate your patience. We will get to everybody.
Absolutely.
But just wanted to call that. Call that out. We got a few questions in this chat, so let's make
All
sure
right.
we get
let's
to everybody.
let's start speeding up these answers then. Iron, would you trade Jeff Wilson for DPJ, Nico Collins, or Josh Palmer in Dynasty?
Yeah, anyone.
All of them.
Honestly, any one of them. I guess Nico. Nico is the closest. DPJ could.
I like
anyone.
Nico or
Pick
DPJ.
your favorite.
Or Collins. I mean, or Palmer. I like them all.
Pick your favorite, honestly. Yeah. Palmer's attached to Herbert, but might be the long-term wide receiver 3 in the offense. Collins.
Can you add somebody else on your end to get more than one?
Like a. I don't want to throw in like a second round pick, but like, I don't know, a couple of thirds and get DPJ and Nico.
Yeah. Throw in a couple of thirds this year, 2024 if you have them or something like that, and see if you can get more than one of these guys. Because I like both of them.
See if you can get 2 of them.
Or
anyone.
I like
honestly, pick your favorite. I like all 3 of those guys. Yep, I like all 3 of those guys.
Showstopper 85, fighting for a playoff spot, full PPR. Hopefully we can help you out. Pick 2,
yes,
flex,
sir.
Pacheco, Najee, I think, or Pittman.
Pittman's in there too.
Pacheco
I think
Pacheco and Najee. I think I'd.
I don't want to sit Pittman in full PPR. I think I would go Pittman and Najee. I think Pittman gives you a rock solid floor, and game script should be in his favor against the Cowboys. It's a tougher matchup by the numbers, but it's a wide receiver 1 in full PPR. I don't think I can sit Pittman here. Najee is your boring play who should be able to give you a floor of 10 points because that's what he's done all year long. He's given you a floor of 10 points. Pacheco is a little more volatile, but I guess I would say maybe has a slightly higher ceiling than Najee, given the matchup and the expected amount of scoring opportunities. I think I would
go Pittman and Pacheco.
I would go Pittman and Najee. Unless I think I need to swing for the fences a little bit, then I would swap Pacheco in for Najee. But I think you're fine going Pittman and Najee personally.
I think the floors that you're looking with Najee are the same for Pacheco, and the ceiling's a little higher. So I would just play Pacheco in that case. Full PPR. You're right. Pittman, you got to start Pittman in that.
I think you got
Pittman and Pacheco.
Pittman in there.
Yeah, I think you just start Pittman and Pacheco because Najee, similar ceiling to Pacheco, similar floor, higher ceiling with Pacheco.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe not higher ceiling, but more of a bet to hit that ceiling, just by nature of the offense that he plays in. Xavier Dobbs, yes, I do. At this point, the fact that he's got 13 touchdowns in 13 games, in 12 games.
Oh yeah, lock it in. And he is doing pick'ems like player props, which they're fun to do. They are a lot of fun. I really get in on that like in the playoffs. Like the NFL playoffs, but they are fun to do. The pick'ems and the props are a ton of fun. They add a nice little wrinkle to your football Sunday.
And I'm looking. I see in the chat, Feverish, you're saying that Joe Mixon says news came out, looks like a long shot to play. I didn't see that from Mixon.
RotoWire?
From 2, I guess I didn't look on RotoWire.
Let me see. I'll look it up. You want to take Sarp's question really quick?
Sure. Sarp, pick 2, Juju, Devonta Smith, or Palmer. I think I would just do the last 2 today. I think I'll just do the last 2.
Well, Juju's interesting again because of the matchup.
I like the matchup with Las Vegas too for Palmer. So I think Palmer's just a little bit safer.
I see this Joe Mixon thing that Feverish mentioned. It was 2 hours ago. Joe Mixon looks like a quote-unquote long shot to play.
Okay.
And I'm not honestly surprised by that. It's game day and he hasn't cleared concussion protocol.
True.
Like, we have to keep that in mind. Tua. The NFL has a black eye right now that they are dealing with as it pertains to their concussion situation. They can take 0 chances. They have no wiggle room. They have no margin for error, and they have
this is
no
a team,
benefit of the doubt.
Looking to make the playoffs. Why would they play with that? So, yeah.
They have no that. Yeah, I would be Samaje. I would be prepared to fire him up.
Yep.
And I would be pivoting off of Mixon, and I would be putting Samaje in as far as like rankings, not too far off of where Mixon would be. So yeah, Samaje jumps a ton of people as long as Mixon is out. Rashad White, Isaiah Pacheco, Miles Sanders. I could keep going. There's only a handful of running backs I still want over Samaje.
Yeah, he's a top 12 option. He might be 11 or 12, but he's a top 12 option.
He's top 12. Agreed. I gotta sneak him in that dynasty league where I'm actually solidly decent.
And Iron, if it was a future second, I might be fine with that, but it would have to be 2025 because that 2024 class doing some looking ahead looks pretty good too.
Yep.
So I think if you can make it, if you can make it like Jeff Wilson in a 25 second for DPJ and Collins or something like that, I would be willing to do that deal.
Sure.
And then George Cook, yes, you are. Yeah, I think it's fine. Jamal Williams has been that guy this year, so you just got to keep playing him and over Mike Williams in a potential Lattimore game that you won't know about until later. Just play Jamal Williams, safe bet with a good ceiling.
Mike Evans averages less than 10 PPR points per game in his career when he has to face Lattimore and the Saints.
And KC Royals, good to see you.
What's up, KC?
Nico Collins, Brandon Cooks is out. Nico Collins is a very high target ceiling this week.
Yeah, Lazard is a boring floor play if you can get away with a boring floor play, but I feel like he's also been a very low floor recently. So yeah, I'm fine with taking a shot on Nico.
Last 3 weeks in terms of targets for Nico, 10, 7, and 9, and that was with Brandon Cooks in there, and now he's out. I wouldn't be surprised if he gets 12 targets.
Mm-hmm.
Catches 8 of them for over 100 yards. I think he could have one of those games today.
Mm-hmm.
I like Nico today. YXA Joy, Fields or Herbert? I would just go Fields.
Herbert, high floor. Fields, higher ceiling.
Yeah. Same thing applies with what I was saying with Dak in terms of if you're worried at all about him being taken out. If you absolutely cannot goose egg and you absolutely need to win this week, you're still fighting for something. Even if it's first in the division, first out of everybody, first in points, whatever it is, even if you got your playoff spot locked up and you're just fighting for that little extra, I think it's fine to play Fields. If you're really just coasting in and you don't need to worry about anything, Herbert. Ray Gamer, start 2. Can only start 1 running back. Evans, Debo, Palmer, Dillon, Pierce, CPAT in standard.
CPAT. So you've got CeeDee Lamb, you've got Derrick Henry, you've got Samaje, so there's some good pieces here.
CPAT.
I'm okay with Patterson. It's Palmer. A great matchup. It's a great matchup at home.
Or in standard.
It's a great matchup at home. I mean, Pierce would be my other option here.
Yeah.
As far as the running back.
Yeah.
It can't be Dillon.
In standard, start those. You can only start 1 running back. Okay. You did specify that. So CPAT.
It's Patterson or Pierce.
And
And
I would
guess I'll
do
play
CPAT,
Patterson at home.
and then because
Just look at
Debo
that.
does come with some rushing upside, and both of them come with some downside this week, it's standard. I'm playing Debo because he does have some rushing upside, even though he might not see the rushes he normally would this week. Maybe we're looking at 3 or 4. But I'd rather play him over Evans in a potential Lattimore game.
Patterson has been delivering recently in home matchups since he returned from injury.
So Patterson and Debo for your start too.
Yeah,
In standard. To me.
I might just play Palmer because he's the healthy one over Debo.
And standard with those extra rushing attempts, I do think that matters.
All right, it's hard to trust Debo right now.
It is.
And on the injury report, like a deep thigh bruise, that shit that hurts. Again,
I guess.
Debo, 2 of his past 3 games, he's been under 10 PPR points. I know this is standard, but
in one of those games, he was a top 3 wide receiver, was he not?
Yeah, it's sandwiched in between a top 3
or a top 6 wide receiver. So
risk tolerance is a big thing here for me, Ray. Do you need the moonshot play? Then Debo. Can you play it safe? Palmer.
Yeah, I mean, he did get the reason why he had that spike week is because he scored a touchdown on the ground on one of his 3 attempts. That does factor in.
Yeah.
So it depends on your risk tolerance, man. But if you're willing to risk it, Debo. If you want to play it safe, Palmer.
Yep, agreed.
Richie Rich need what's that?
So I was Patterson for sure as your running back.
Yeah. Yep. Richie Rich need 1 at the flex, full PPR. Thielen, Swift, or Najee. Full PPR.
Najee is your floor. Najee's your ceiling play. Thielen's your floor play. Swift is a floor play too, but it's just very hard to trust him.
I would just play Najee.
I think I would just play Najee.
Yeah.
I think I
and
would.
Xavier, I mean, Henry getting over 110 rushing or over 110 rush attempts. Yeah, that's another one that I'm usually betting.
I mean, it's against the Eagles. They've been getting killed on the ground the past few weeks. Now Jordan Davis is back.
Derrick Henry hasn't gone over 100 or over 87 rushing yards over the past 3 weeks. So that does factor in to a certain extent, but that's another one where I'm betting it. But he could have hit that cliff that we were all talking about. You look at where he was at after week 9. Like, he did hit that touch cliff that we were talking about.
The 1800 touch threshold.
Week 9, and then you look at his efficiency once he hit week 9.
Week 11 he did all right.
Efficiency.
Yeah.
Tank.
Let me check the status on Jordan Davis really quick because that matters in this one. Can you keep it rolling?
Yes, sir.
Moving?
Ray Gamer, nope, doesn't think so. JP, hey, I hope you have a great week too. Hope you have a great week 13. Hope everybody in here does. Good luck to absolutely everybody.
That is a lot of yards, Xavier. But you also get receiving involved as well.
If it's receiving involved, then yes. But if it's just rushing yards, then maybe. I don't think so this week. But if it's rushing and receiving, yes.
Actually, he's hit it the past 2 weeks, rushing and receiving combined.
If it is rushing and receiving, then yes. If it is just rushing, no.
Okay. I would take that chance.
And in terms of Bucks v. Eagles, I think I would just go Bucks, man.
I would take the
New
Bucks.
Orleans offense has been absolutely terrible.
Yeah.
I mean, goose egg last week. Like, I think you chase that.
Yep, I agree.
Yeah, Ray Gamer with the stats there. Rush, but all right. I didn't see the / receiving with Xavier's question, so yeah. I think I'm willing to bet that.
Yep, I would take that.
Joe Fallon, flex spot. Rashad White and Brian Robinson. Which running back? Rashad White. Got you. I would go Rashad White. With Gibson looking like he's playing, I'm going Rashad White.
I mean, if it's PPR or even half PPR, I want Rashad White. Robinson has a little bit more appeal in standard.
A little bit.
Yeah.
But not much.
But I think not much.
Honestly, I would just stick with Rashad White in standard.
I might just go Rashad White because I think he's the better player.
And we already have news that Gibson's playing. So.
Yeah, true.
Or not, it's
trending.
Not, yeah. Brady, good to see you. Danny Dimes or Mariota, and then Taysom or Higbee. Higbee for sure. And then Danny Dimes or Mariota.
It's a coin flip. I'll go Mariota. It's the Steelers. It's a great matchup by the numbers.
Yeah,
I'll go Mariota.
Go for
it. It's not a division game. Division games have a higher likelihood of just being weird.
I mean, the Steelers, there is before or with Watt and without Watt, and it is with Watt, and they're a completely different defense with Watt.
True. But I would still go. I think I would take Mariota.
It's not nearly as scary as Washington, who I think we got some news on Chase Young. Is he back?
He's out.
He's out.
He's out.
Got you.
He's not going to play this week.
I would go Daniel Jones with Slayton back. I would go Daniel Jones.
I would go Mariota because he's in the dome against the Steelers. That's just I really like the numbers there. I want to play that matchup. Dimes is in a division game for what it's worth, and again, they have a higher chance of being. Those games have a higher chance of being weird.
Yeah, but I'm going Daniel Jones
right,
there.
We're split on that, Brady.
Has he played Washington yet this year?
No, they play again in 2 weeks.
Yeah, got you. All right. All right, next question. Full PPR, Lockett or Judy? Lockett.
Go Lockett. Judy's a game time call. Like, it could re-aggravate the injury. Lockett's not on the injury report. The Rams are a shell of themselves. And Geno Smith is a better quarterback than Russell Wilson right now.
Yeah, he is. Crazy. George Cook, Brian Robinson walking out.
Oh, dude, that was yes.
Yeah.
You got to give him the credit for that. That was pretty dope. And then and what he's done since then.
Underrated song too. And those pick'ems are fun, man.
They're good. They're a good time.
Samir, should I start Perrine over David Montgomery with Mixon out? Yes.
Yeah.
That is one that I would do, but I do want to start David Montgomery too. So who's the other running back?
Yeah. I don't want to sit Montgomery against the Packers, but Samaje in this matchup against the Chiefs, it's a smash spot potential.
And Edward Reyes and PPR, I don't want to start Debo, so I'm willing to start Latavius over Debo just because. And Burks, I'm willing to do both of them.
Man, it's hard to trust him. It's hard to trust Debo right now with with this deep thigh bruise. He's been on the injury report yet again. He's not been the 2021 Debo that exploded last year. It's a good matchup, but we saw him limited and hampered by it in the game last week, and he's still dealing with it. That's a tough roll of the dice to get behind. I guess I'm okay with Burks. I do think I would play Debo over Latavius personally. I would take the chance of Debo over Latavius Murray. But in full PPR, Burks has a little bit better of an argument over him.
I mean, Latavius last game.
If this is a play two, then I'll play the wide receivers in full PPR and just hope for the best with Debo.
Latavius last game, 82% of the snaps, 92 rush yards on 13 attempts. Looked pretty good.
It is a revenge game for Latavius too.
And
it's a tough matchup. It's a tough matchup by the numbers.
But he looked decent enough to where and with the amount of competition he has in that offense, which is to say really nothing. I'm willing to go Latavius here over Debo. And Christian Vasquez, thank you very much. Good luck to you. and thank you. Good luck this
Christian.
week.
And Edward. Appreciate the kind words.
Yeah, thank you, Edward. Iron, toss up, dude. Both are great options this week. Baltimore's got Denver. Cowboys got Indianapolis.
Give me the Ravens.
I think I would go.
Russ.
I think I would go Cowboys, but you could go either way, man.
Give me the Ravens against Russ.
They're I think they're both top 4 options this week in terms of defenses you can play.
The Broncos, man, I want to target Russell Wilson. That offense is putrid.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, they're a better target, I guess. But the Cowboys unit has just been so good too. Yeah, I mean, you can't go wrong with either, honestly. But I guess we're split. But you really can't go wrong with either if it's preferential. Ravens are a great matchup too.
We got Bo's question.
Yep.
Bo, if you missed it,
full PPR.
Yes, Jacobs should play. Yeah, Walker's fine. I would go Godwin too. Like, honestly, can't go wrong there.
Well, he put full PPR. He didn't put that in before, and you said full PPR. Full Godwin PPR. Over Kenneth Walker.
Godwin.
Yeah, thanks for putting in the extra format.
Godwin and Jacobs.
Yeah.
And then Tua, floor, field, ceiling.
Yep. Oh, Aquas, what's going on? Do you trust Najee this week? Yes.
Yeah.
Kyron Williams does have some PPR upside, but I'm definitely going Najee over him.
Kyron Williams is very interesting, but Najee has to start.
And Edward, yeah.
That upside is coming. It's on its way with Watson now back entrenched as the starter.
Quinn Math, good to see you.
What's up, Quinn?
Return of Watson, yeah, it's happening this week. We'll see. Revenge game should be fun.
A lot of eyes. There's gonna be a lot of eyes on that.
Yep. Ryan Carmella.
So real quick, we will start getting inactives rolling in the next 15 minutes. So.
Yep. Ryan Carmella, start Bam Knight, AJ Dillon, or Slayton. Bam Knight, I think, is safe. If it's full PPR, I guess I'm fine with Slayton. And you actually no, man. I'm just going Bam Knight.
You're going Knight.
I'm going Bam Knight.
I think you're a little more on Knight this week than I am. I'm a little concerned that he gets the game script phases him out, which means he's going to have to capitalize early, which he could do. But it's a tougher matchup. It's a tougher situation. I think I'm going Slayton personally.
It's not like he didn't get 3 receptions last night or last week. He's not one of these running backs that is just a pure rusher. Yes, Ty Johnson is the preferred receiving back, but he's not a 0 in the pass game. He was utilized as such last week. 34 pass yards, caught all 3 of his targets. I mean, that has to mean something moving forward too.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we're split. I guess we're split there.
I think we're split. I'm a little concerned about Knight, but yeah, I mean, the floor should be there if you prefer playing a running back and you want the floor, like Knight should be fine. I might take a shot on Slayton if I think I need upside.
Cali Loco, I think I would just go Latavius. I don't think Boone steals any work at all.
Nah, and I'm not picking up Abdullah.
Nope.
I'll take Murray. I don't love Murray this week, but at least it's a revenge game.
And Lamar or Fields or Watson, I guess Tony, I would just go Lamar.
42-point bonus for big plays. Lamar is your chalk. Fields is a little bit more. I guess the ceiling is higher
because he could get banged up. I think I would then, because he's coming in a little banged up.
Right.
And, I think I would just play Lamar today, and then moving forward, I might swerve to Fields. But I mean, they both have weak busting upside, so Lamar.
Yeah, that's fine. Go Lamar because Fields was on the injury report, missed last week. He's cleared to go this week, but let's give. When I have a guy like Lamar Jackson, then I can wait a week on Fields.
Cooler hand, you're number 1, but have Fields, JT, and Pittman on bye for round 1. Should I tank this week so I get a worse seed? I mean,
dude.
Do you have any? Are there incentives for you to be playing for this week at all?
First of all,
I never want
you got to talk to your commissioner.
Yeah,
that has to change. We have to adjust the play. Like this can't be. This is a no-brainer. This can't be even like a debate. The fantasy playoffs have to be pushed back a week now that it's 18 weeks. Bye weeks, week 14 during the playoffs and I'm not blaming you for this, this cannot be a factor. This cannot be something that anybody has to deal with.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry that you have to deal with this year, but like you need to have a conversation with your commissioner. The playoffs have to be moved back for the first week to be week 15. That's not acceptable. You should not have to deal with this. That's my answer to this.
No. It is absolutely unfair. Your commissioner needs to do something. But because you have to play these games within the rules of whatever league you're in, and then honestly, because you're being dealt a shit hand with having 3 of your best players on bye for round 1, then yeah, do what you got to do to get a worse seed.
If you think the matchup will be better for you if you lose this week, then sure.
Yes. Because normally I'm not one to advocate, gaming the rules like that, and unless it's, you got dynasty implications on the line or whatever that, and then there's extra strategy involved. But if it's just to win because of the constraints put on you by nature of the rules of the league, then yes, do what you got to do.
Let that, if you choose to go that route, let this be a lesson to the league.
Yeah,
we need to fix this.
Yep.
Playoffs need to start week 15. They have to, because of the week 14 buys, and we have to move the fantasy playoffs starting week 15. There's no argument against it as far as I'm concerned.
And Tony, I think I would just go Pacheco.
Yep. Give me Pacheco.
Cali Loco, tight end roulette, pick 1.
Oh boy, tight
Tunyon.
end roulette.
But I'm not expecting any boom week. Really, he hasn't given you that, but I guess it would be Tunyon.
Let me see. Who has the best matchup by the numbers? It's not Hooper. Eagles are actually decent against opposing tight ends. Tunyon doesn't have a great matchup either. Neither does Jelani Woods. And Logan Thomas, Logan Thomas has by far the best matchup. Tight end roulette, I would play Logan Thomas. And I just got done hating on him a little while ago. But given these options, Tunyon, Hooper, and Jelani Woods are all facing like bottom 6 matchups in the league by the numbers. The Giants are actually in the top 8 as far as tight end points allowed. I would roll the dice on Logan Thomas. Callie?
I would just
but
play Tunyon. But that's just because I like the quarterback better, so I feel like they're going to be, there's a bet to be in the red zone a little more, and if you're just hoping for a TD. Yeah.
Tunyon hasn't cleared 40 yards receiving since week 6. I'm going Logan Thomas.
Yeah, but what's Thomas gotten you?
He has 2 weeks ago. He has better numbers than Tunyon has put up for 7 weeks
against Houston,
and it's a good matchup. I'm going Thomas.
Okay, I'm going Tunyon. So we're split.
Yeah, if you want 20 yards, I guess Tunyon. If you want, 35 yards, I guess, I don't know. It's tight end roulette.
You can't make that distinction. They're both pretty much in the same tier.
I would go Thomas just because of the matchup. I don't trust Tunyon at all.
I don't trust Thomas either. I don't trust any of these options. That's the problem. So it really is TE roulette.
Yeah, I'll take the best matchup. And I don't even know.
And I'll take the best. I'll take the best offense.
So the Titans.
You know what I mean?
It's not Aaron Rodgers.
Tony Kamaj.
Aaron Rodgers aren't toast.
Yeah, Tony Kamaj, flex, Godwin, Amari, Juju, Garrett Wilson have PPR. Godwin.
That sucks that you have to potentially sit those
Amari,
other 3 guys.
And Garrett Wilson, the great wide receiver core.
Yeah. But Chris Godwin's got to be in for me.
And Corey Jones, I'm playing Slayton.
Yeah, give me the upside. I'll take Slayton.
Itty Bitty South City.
What's up, Itty Bitty? Yeah, you're crazy.
Yeah, you're crazy.
Jefferson does not come out. You're overthinking this, and I'm not trying to be mean. Justin Jefferson is in your lineup. I don't care if he's going up against a Monstar. Like, you're playing Justin Jefferson.
Yeah. He is a monster. Let's be real.
Right. I'm playing Jefferson with one hand tied behind his back.
And hey, he could. I think he could. I'm willing to bet that.
Chubb against Houston? Yeah, I'll take that. There's a lot of yards to be relying on, though, if you're parlaying these props, Xavier. Just to say.
And Razka, yeah, man, we gotta chill live chat. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for joining the stream. If you're new here, we answer every question in the chat. Just takes us a little bit of time to get through to every question in the chat, but we do, and we got a cool little community here. So thanks for chilling.
Yeah. Thanks for coming and hanging out. If you're still
just to dip down to your question before I get to the modern dogs, is there?
Sure.
Who you guys feeling? Pickens or Devonta Smith?
In full PPR.
Pickens floor, Devonta Smith ceiling, but both have very solid floors.
I think Pickens has the slightly safer floor as the team's wide receiver 1.
Yeah.
But I agree with that analysis. Devonta Smith is the spike week god. And what I mean by that is he could give you 20, he could give you 6.
And in full PPR, considering what his floor has been with no Dallas Goedert, because that matters. There are splits there with Devonta Smith, pre-Dallas Goedert injury and post. Not basically an 8 to 9 target floor for Devonta Smith. I think I'd just go Devonta Smith in full PPR.
Better offense.
Yeah. Yep.
Smith has the boom opportunity, and it's a great match. Both have really good matchups by the numbers. Pickens can give you a floor if you feel like you need some upside. If you're like, I'm an underdog, or I need to go for the 20-point potential. Devonta Smith.
And modern dog, I'm going with those last two, Najee and Pollard, with Antonio Gibson playing today.
Yeah. Robinson had a great week last week. Let's have him do it again before we fire him up over those two guys.
And Razka, thank you very much for subscribing. We appreciate it, man. If you got any more questions, throw them in the chat. Aquas, how much of a snap percentage do you think Jameson Williams gets today? I speculated at like below 10. Nick thinks it's anywhere from 10 to 20.
20% or 20%, 25%, something like that. They're gonna ease him in. They'll bring him along slowly, as they should.
And anybody South City need an RB2, Rachaad White, Zonovan Knight, Kyron Williams. What's the format? But I think I'd just go Rachaad White. We're big fans of Rachaad White.
I'm very intrigued by Kyron Williams, but I can't plug him in over Rachaad just yet.
And Tony Kamaj, you're in that situation too?
Is this it better not be a playoff?
It better not be a playoff situation. But I mean, I think we have to see if Michael Carter is out next week before we make that distinction. See how much work Leonard Fournette gets with Rachaad White this week to really see how it bears on next week in terms of what we expect for them workload wise. So I think the next week question has to wait, unfortunately. But I think you got good options to choose from. So I'll give you that. Mm-hmm. So you should be fine because you got good options to choose from, but we need to wait. We need to wait before we give you an answer on that one.
Yep.
And Xavier, thank you for the
appreciate it, man.
Thank you for the endorsement. We appreciate it. Watson over Pittman, half PPR. I'm not willing to go there.
I can't go there yet.
Not willing to go there, but is it crazy that it's close?
No. Watson's come on incredibly strong. Yeah. Credit to him. I thought it would maybe take a little bit longer for him, but he clearly wasn't that long of a long-term project.
And Kyle Singer, thanks for joining us. Full PPR. Pick one, Patterson or Pollard. I think the safer play is just Patterson. Yeah.
Obviously, we like Pollard, but with Zeke in there, he's. It's not his fault, but he's hard to trust with Zeke in there.
Tony Latavius is worth an ad, just depending on who you need to cut, though.
Yeah, depending on who you need to drop.
He's worth an ad. And Derek, I would go Rachaad White, and I think Nick would too.
Rachaad White. Yep, no question. Fournette's on the injury report, and I think regardless, I think Rachaad White has taking this backfield over as the 1A. I do.
And Damon, is that Garrett Wilson or is that Jeff Wilson? If it's Jeff Wilson, Patterson. If it's Garrett Wilson at full PPR, I'm going Garrett Wilson.
Then Garrett Wilson. Yeah, that's fine.
But thanks for joining us, Damon. Good to see you. Scott Sharp, bless up to
Scott?
you too. Full PPR need 2. I'm going Pacheco and ETN.
ETN has to be in as long as he's off the injury report. I would say Patterson is a very rock-solid floor. I would say Pacheco is your upside play. Depends on what you need, Scott. I don't want to totally rule out Patterson here in full PPR at home. ETN has to be in. Patterson, again, depending on what you need and the combination of what you need for this specific matchup plus your risk tolerance. Patterson is a rock-solid floor, and I like I mentioned just not too long ago, John, Patterson has been delivering at home since he returned from injury.
Yep.
Pacheco is in the matchup where we expect points to be scored. So Patterson, rock-solid floor. Pacheco, lower floor. I'll say he has the higher ceiling, though.
And I'll just I'll just go ETN and Pacheco.
Okay.
And if your league, if you know your scoring and you know your league doesn't count special team scores or anything like that, then absolutely Pacheco and ETN over Patterson. But that factors in as well. And
Patterson is a floor play. Wilson's a 4th here for me.
And shout out to Xavier for making 10 pick'ems. Respect,
bro. You're all right. Let's play with some house money, right? Let's get a little wild and crazy with it. One of them's got to hit one of these days, right? One of these parlays.
And Rasky, we answer every question in the chat, so no need to double up. But thank you for joining us, man. Thanks for subbing.
Appreciate it.
Ben Santana, pick 2, full PPR, Claypool, Duvernay, or Van Jefferson.
Van Jay and Claypool.
Yep. Van Jay scored a touchdown last week. Like it.
Yeah, Duvernay's been pretty tough to trust recently. Maybe he gets back on track at home, but yeah, like Van Jay has caught touchdowns actually the past 2 weeks. So I'll rock with him. And I mean, Claypool is an all or nothing, kind of like Duvernay, but at least Claypool gets Fields back and no Darnell Mooney.
And Feverish, I'm playing everybody but Pierce. And if Jacobs doesn't play, I'm playing Pierce.
Well, Pierce plays in the 1 o'clock window. Jacobs plays at 4:25, so you would have to swerve. But there does appear to be optimism for Jacobs.
Yeah, I'm just throwing them all in. No Pierce.
I'll wait on Jacobs and pick up Zamir White in an emergency situation if I have to.
Yep, if he's available.
Right.
Itty Bitty South City. Sales said it would be a 3 committee back with Robinson and Johnson. I mean, okay.
Oh, solid. Oh, the Jets. Yeah. I think Ty Johnson's going to mix in a little bit here today. I think whatever, Xavier, if there's any props on Ty Johnson, I would smash the over on those.
True.
I think he gets in there a little bit more today. I think Robinson is going to just based on what we saw last week, Robinson operates as the 3rd option. Yeah, he might mix in, but a healthy scratch can kind of be damning.
And Xavier, McKinnon's gonna play, and I'm not super worried about about that affecting Pacheco's upside. I still think he can get you, 18 rush attempts for with decent efficiency on the ground and a touchdown. You look at every game outside of last week, and he's had like above 5 yards per carry. He's a good back in that offense. It's just last week he had bad efficiency on 22 rush attempts. So if it gets scaled back to 18, 16, and he gets that efficiency back, which I think he will, I think he'll be fine. So, yeah, I'm fine rolling out Pacheco.
I would roll Pacheco over Zonovan McKnight, yes.
Yep. And need 2 wide receivers on the flex. You're playing Chase, you're playing Amon-Ra, and you're playing Waddle in full PPR.
I don't want to sit Higgins, but I guess.
But you got Chase, so I've and Amon-Ra and Higgins, same tier. Waddle, different tier. You're playing Chase and Waddle. If it's between Amon-Ra and Higgins, knowing you have Chase, I think I'll play Amon-Ra.
And you said you need an RB2 from the previous question. I'm playing Patterson in full PPR over Pierce, over Kamara, over Swift.
Yeah.
Patterson.
Yep. Agreed. Mako J, ETN, Perrine, Pollard, or Watson at my flex. Perrine.
Samaje with what appears to be no Mixon in a game against the Chiefs.
Yep.
I'm fine with that.
Chris Flores, good to see you. Good morning.
What's up, Chris?
Pick one to pair with Chubb. Rashad White, Miles Sanders, Isaiah Pacheco, or Latavius Murray. Flex Juju Sutton Ayuk, or flex a running back.
Half or full PPR, I'm going Rashad White. Standard, I'm going Pacheco. I'm
playing Ayuk. Yep, in the flex. Yep.
Unless it's standard, and then maybe I consider Pacheco and Rashad White. But honestly, I might just play Ayuk. He's been on a heater.
I would just continue to play Ayuk even in standard.
Yeah.
He's been awesome. With
Ayuk's
Debo, with our concerns about Debo's health, I'm just playing Ayuk.
Ayuk's been killing it. Play him. Pacheco in standard, half or full PPR, Rashad White.
And non-PPR, Joe, I'm playing Pickens.
I'm playing Pickens of those options in all formats.
Lynn wins, Gallup, Jameson Williams, or Olamide Zacchaeus. Gallup.
Gallup. Gallup is the right now today. We have to give Gallup the benefit of the doubt, and he's the best player of these three. He's not coming off of a torn ACL. Well, he is, but less recently than JMO. And he's now he's got weeks under his belt. And he's in the best situation. Gallup.
Dirko04, good to see you. Start one, flex, have PPR, Pacheco, Najee, or Perrine.
Yeah, go Samaje with what we expect to be no Mixon. Samaje. Against the Chiefs. Could catch another 5-6 balls. Yep.
And Scott Sharp, congrats on being in first by far.
There you go. Not close. So then go all upside, man. So screw it. Play your upside plays. So I would play in full
have fun.
PPR.
Play all your upside plays.
So play Pacheco. Or there's another way you can go here. Yeah, I would play ETN and Pacheco, but if you happen to love Cordero Patterson, he's just your boy, he's your guy, he's your dude, then just play your favorite guy.
Yeah.
You could kind of go. ETN, I think, is your no-brainer, has to be in, but Pacheco is fine to play, and he's also at this point, I feel like he's kind of fun to root for. But if Patterson is just your boy, which he could be, just play your favorite guy. Patterson's been delivering at home. Pacheco has all of the vibes in the world right now, good vibes in the world right now. Between those two, play your favorite. And I guess I would just play Pacheco if I'm the 1 seed and it's Miles and Miles. Let's play the Chiefs running back in what we expect to be a shootout.
And Riley, tough decision, man. I honestly think, what is it crazy that I'm sitting AJ Brown?
Yeah, because he's playing the Titans. It's a revenge game.
Oh, yeah. All right, then it is crazy. I wasn't keyed into that. Yeah. Then I'm sitting Perrine.
I'll sit Samaje.
Yeah.
I'll sit Samaje. Yeah, I'm playing AJ Brown against the Titans.
He's just had a slow last few weeks, but I wasn't
sick. He's fine now.
Connecting the dots with the revenge game, so good to know. Good to know.
Oh, he's playing his old team who traded him away.
Boom.
I think AJ Brown is in for a day.
Nemo, Elijah Moore, DeAndre Carter, or Darius Slayton? I'm going Darius Slayton.
Did I just rhyme? Bars. Slayton's an upside play. Carter, I think, is somewhat safe with no Mike Williams. I do.
I think Slayton's a safe play with upside too.
Yeah.
I'm not going back to the Elijah Moore until I see more volume.
Not yet. Although the opportunity is there today. The game script should be in his favor.
Need to see more volume.
No,
Xavier,
that's fine.
Hit last week, so you're playing off that.
Go.
Yeah, go for it.
There you go.
For it. Good luck today. Nemo, it's I don't think it's ever a Tevin Coleman day.
No, it's Christian McCaffrey's healthy, so it's a Christian McCaffrey and then hodgepodge day.
And Johnny Jones, I'm going Perrine and Pacheco.
Start two and Samaje has to be in. If it's standard, Pacheco. If it's half or full PPR, I'll go Rashad White.
And Xavier, you got to capitalize on that. What are you doing?
There's none on. There's none. There are no props on.
Go elsewhere. Look for other ones.
Look for another one.
Yeah, look for another betting house or whatever.
Antonio Gibson officially off the injury report. Cortland Sutton, Jerry Jeudy, Antonio Gibson active. Michael Carter, as expected, is inactive.
Boom. There you go.
So we're starting to get those. We're starting to get those injury updates. They're starting to come in.
And yet, Nemo, I don't know how it's pronounced. And even if it is pronounced Pirine,
you're right. It's Pirine.
Just gonna say it wrong. Whatever.
John's notorious for the names being a thing.
Yeah, Cordarrelle is for real. It's not Cordero.
That is not. You are dying on a hill that doesn't exist.
Whatever.
You're right, fine. Nemo. It's Pirine.
It is Pirine. Got that Pirine disease.
He'll start saying Pirine when you steal his shades.
Never gonna happen. The Modern Dog, rest of season, Corey Davis or Van Jefferson? You got is it I mean
Van. I'll say Van. I think he's gonna he's got a much better chance to operate as the number one receiver rest of season.
I mean, if Mike White keeps airing it out the way that he has, you're gonna be able to sustain more than one pass catching wide receiver in this offense. And Garrett Wilson can still have glowing outcomes down the stretch, and there's still room for Corey Davis. Look what they did early in the year. Corey Davis was a wide receiver 2 over the first 5 weeks. I don't know if Van Jefferson can get there with Bryce Perkins on a week-to-week basis. I think I go Corey Davis with honestly a better quarterback and a better offense.
I would say Van. I would, just because of the opportunity ahead of him. Like any given week, it could be Corey Davis. It could Elijah Moore could resurface, or maybe Garrett Wilson is just that dude. They shifted the Rams' Allen Robinson to injured reserve. I would be willing to bet his season is over. Cooper Kupp's season is likely over. It's just an opportunity perspective at this point. Yeah, it might be gross. It might not be pretty, but Van Jay did score touchdowns back-to-back weeks with John Wofford and Bryce Perkins as his quarterbacks. I think just out of necessity, he's going to be their number one for the rest of the season. This is a huge opportunity.
I wasn't aware it was back-to-back. I thought it was just one. So good.
No, he got one with he got a garbage time touchdown with Wofford against the Saints, or maybe it was Perkins. Regardless, I'll go Van just because Cooper Kupp and Allen Robinson's seasons appear to be over.
True. BDD, Pickens or Lockett? Lockett. Lockett's been great over the course of the year.
Yeah, Lockett.
And Riley, Christian Watson.
Where are we at here?
Right below BDD.
Yeah, Riley. I'll take Christian Watson just because Debo is on the injury report and has been very volatile.
And Jollery, I mean, he could have success with Debo hurt, but I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, he could. He had a good week last week. He caught a touchdown. Yeah, okay. Yeah. Jawan Jennings had a solid week last week. Yeah, he could. I mean, again, it's kind of like it's the trickle down thought process, right? If we're worried about Debo, then don't we naturally have to feel a little bit better about the other guys in the offense? I think that's fair. Yeah. I think
that makes me feel good about like Kittle and Christian McCaffrey with no Elijah Mitchell and Ayuk. I don't know about the ancillary pieces, but we'll see.
Yeah,
I guess it does.
Jennings, he had a good day this past week. Jawan Jennings did have a good day last week. Let me confirm. I know for a fact he caught a touchdown.
No, he did. He had a decent week. 7 targets, 6 receptions, 49 yards, 1 touchdown. Decent.
There you go. Yeah, I mean, can we predict anything more than wide receiver 3 numbers? No, but absolutely he could have success with Debo being banged up. For sure.
The Batcave, you already know, man.
Yep.
The Modern Dog likes Jennings too, so
reporting live from the Batcave. That's pretty funny.
Yeah.
That's pretty
Batcave
funny.
with the glasses on. What?
Yeah, man.
Buckeye DK.
Where are the other drugs going?
Yeah. Juju or Burks. Eagles have 2 corners hurt.
I'll take Juju's.
Yeah, I guess.
I'll take Juju.
Smart answer, Juju.
Yeah, I think Juju is look, his floor
in what should be a smash spot
Yeah.
by nature of the opponent.
The
Yeah.
game script expectation against the Bengals, a team that Juju knows very well, having played them twice a year when he was with Pittsburgh. I'll take Juju.
And Kevin Martin, I'm sitting Garrett Wilson, chasing ETN.
Yeah. I hate it, but yeah. Sorry, Kevin. I mean, no, it's a good problem to have, but you're talking about two studs.
And Damon, RB2, I'm playing Bam Knight. Tight end, I think I'm going Komet. And flex, Sutton.
Yeah. I'm fine with all those. Bam Knight, Sutton, Komet. Yeah, I'm fine with all those.
And Juwan, everybody in the NFL is talented.
Right. He might get 4 targets. That's the thing. It's just the way the offense operates. But I mean, he proved. I mean, he had a rock solid day last week. So yeah, kudos to him. If anything happens if Debo re-aggravates that injury, then the target floor goes up to maybe 6 or 5 or 6.
Greg Z.
What's up, Greg?
I would just I've warmed up to Rachaad White. Just play Rachaad White.
There we go.
A new era. I mean, you're gonna be down bad either way. I think you just go Akers and hope for a TD. Either way, you're hoping for a TD. One of these players.
He said down below Julio is also an option.
Yeah, I'm still going Akers, and yes, I'm living with the 4-point potential, but he can get you 12 if he scores a touchdown.
See, I think with that logic, I might as well just say screw it and play JMO. I'm not I think Kyron Williams, again, to the point of kind of about the Rams. Everybody's on injured reserve, and the Rams have a track record for whatever stupid reason. I think they need to look inward here a little bit, the Rams do. But, why do they consistently fall out of favor with every running back they draft? Kyron Williams is their shiny new toy, who I think they want to get work and they want to see.
But he
out-touched Akers.
Right, but you look at what JMO can do. You look at what DJ Chark just did last week. He was active for 73% of the snaps, 5 targets, 2 receptions, 16 yards, and he caught the touchdown. So if you expect something like that from Jameson Williams, maybe not the target allotment, but the reception total, the yardage total, and hoping for the touchdown, he got you 8.6 points in half PPR. So really, we talk about a ton of upside for Jameson Williams first week back. I think you just go with Akers. I know. You're hoping for 12 points from either, and honestly, the guy getting more work here is the guy that I'm going to be playing, even though it's going to be ugly work. So we might be split there.
It is going to be ugly. I don't know how split I am. It's just it's 2 tough calls to make. Akers has a floor of 2 points. I guess JMO does as well. But
yeah. Well, JMO has a floor of 0 points, to be honest.
JMO has a floor of 0. Akers has a floor of 2. But we're splitting hairs there.
Christian Vasquez,
Gibson is in.
Yeah, I would play Evans over Robinson in this case.
I
would.
But you're gonna lose that. You're sitting at 9-3. Yeah, play Evans. There is a certain point where it's okay, I do need to give Mike Evans the respect that he has earned, despite this being a pretty terrible matchup. But yeah, I'll take Evans. And again, go with your gut. If you are yourself worried about Robinson because Gibson is active, then play the guy you feel less bad or you feel less concerned about.
And so, Tober, considering we haven't heard any news on Zay Jones, I might just go Christian Kirk there. I'm not nervous about Devonta Smith. He should have a 8-target floor. But I think I go Christian Kirk because now knowing that A.J. Brown should get targets funneled his way in a revenge game. I think I go Christian Kirk because we don't have any news on Zay Jones. And if Zay Jones isn't there, he's vacating 14 and 11 targets in back-to-back games. And honestly, I would put Jamal Williams if Zay Jones doesn't play.
I
think I would just go Jamal Williams. Yeah, just play Jamal Williams. Sotober.
Play the RB1 at home because that's what Jamal Williams is in every scoring format this year, an RB1. Play Jamal. Yeah. Play Jamal Williams. Play Jamal Williams.
And Johnny Jones, Scary Terry is always a low-end wide receiver 1 to me.
It hasn't been great the past couple of weeks, but the upside is there. I mean, I think you have to with a player like Terry McLaurin, you probably just have to play him.
Just go back to the well. Yeah, he's wide receiver 16 and have PPR. I mean, 7-point floor the last few weeks, but he does have that 16-point upside. And if there's a week to hit it, it's a divisional week against the Giants. So go for it.
Yeah.
No, Modern Dog.
Is this Corey Davis versus Van Jay? I would play Van personally.
Just go Van. Upside.
I would play Van.
It's a more fun player to play at this point. And Perrine, 52 rush yards is safe as hell.
That feels fine. What did he do last week? He had a good game, but he had a good game against the Titans too. That's a tough matchup.
And YT, just to skip ahead, I'd go Van Jefferson.
Yeah, go for it.
And Cade Smith, I would just go Tua, honestly.
Samaje had 58 rushing yards last week against a tough Titans defense. Gets a slightly softer matchup against Kansas City this week. Yeah,
over on 52 rushing.
Yeah, I'll take
yards.
the over on 52.
And I think Waddle gets 67 receiving yards today. Yeah.
That might be tough.
Against San Fran? San Fran could put up points.
Oh, no, it might. Yeah, it might just. That's
Waddle over 67 receiving yards. I'm cool with that.
Actually, he has done that in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He has done that in every matchup, the past 6 matchups, except for one where he got 85.
Go for it.
66. Excuse me.
Do it.
So he just missed it by 1 yard. Yeah, I would. Yes. Well, yeah. I would take that prop. I would take the over on that Waddle receiving prop. Yep. And
I think I would go Slayton over Brian Robinson, knowing that Antonio Gibson is playing.
I would take the running back personally. This is where I would take Robinson.
Okay. So we're split there.
Yeah, we're split, Callie. I would take the running back. John prefers the receiver in full PPR.
Nor full PPR pick 3 of your questionable wide receivers. Well, Chase is playing. You're fine with that.
Chase is in. You got to put you're playing Chase. I think of these options, you
and then
have to roll.
Debo and Slayton.
Yeah, I would roll the dice on Debo given these options, and I would play Slayton as well. Yep, Chase, Debo, Slayton. If Debo is a surprise inactive, then whoever's on the wire. Maybe it is Jawan Jennings. You just pick up his replacement.
And Dirko 04, I'm playing Najee.
Pick one more between Pacheco and Najee. Yeah, I'll take Najee.
And between Washington and Philadelphia defense,
Washington gets the Giants on the road. The Eagles are at home, but they have a leaky run defense against Derrick Henry.
The Eagles just a better unit overall. I think
I'll take the Eagles.
Yeah,
I'll take the Eagles.
And M. Seifert, half point, pick 3, Kirk, Allen, Metcalf, Wilson, Sutton. The first 3. Kirk, Keenan Allen, I'm guessing, and Metcalf.
Yes, the first 3. Are we playing Rashad White over Olave?
Yes.
If Lenny does play, you could.
Actually, no.
I would go to Olave, and again, you'll know that on Monday night. I would go to Olave if we know Lenny's active, but if he's out, it's all the way up on all the wheels up on Rashad White.
And New Era is still playing Cam. All right.
Then screw it. I would play JMO. I don't want to play both Rams backs. If you know definitively you want to play Kyron, which I'm okay with, then
have fun with the matchup. It's going to be more fun to be watching the slate of games, knowing that you have Jameson Williams in there, Julio Jones. It's not a fun, exciting play this week.
It's very meh.
Yeah. And then Perrine, Taylor, Jamal Williams, pick 2.
The last 2.
Yeah.
I want to play Samaje, but I got to give Jamal Williams the respect he's earned this year. He's been an RB1. And Taylor, Taylor's probably got the worst matchup of these 3, but it's Jonathan Taylor.
And I think I would play Tampa Bay versus New Orleans.
Yeah. I would play the Bucs. That's fine.
Fabian, what's going on? Boyd versus
Fabian.
ETN? ETN for sure.
ETN. Yeah, take the starting running back who catches passes.
And no, I don't think Swift is going to get more work. I think he's going to live around 30% of the work.
He's going to continue to see 30 to 35, maybe 40% of the snaps, and maybe he delivers on that, but his ceiling is 15 points. That's his ceiling.
And Jay, I think I would just go Patterson, man. Patterson's solid. Solid as hell. Just roll out Patterson.
He's been delivering at home since he returned from injury. Play Patterson at home in a good matchup. Yep. Agreed.
And got you, Modern Dog. I see you.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah, I say Van.
Yep.
I say Van.
And Slayton V, I think we already got to that one,
We
Callie.
got that one. I think we're split, Callie. I say Robinson. John says Slayton.
And I like Peoples-Jones over Corey Davis.
He could be a boom, Danzel. Yeah, with Deshaun Watson back, no David Njoku for whatever that's worth. I don't know that necessarily directly impacts a guy like DPJ, but you got to feel good about Peoples-Jones' chances to catch a bomb now that Deshaun Watson is back. Maybe Watson's a little rusty, but with all due respect to Mike White, I'll take my chances on a guy that Deshaun Watson is throwing the ball to.
And it looks like Jacobs is playing, or at least it's optimistic. And Tim, I would go Murray because I think he's getting the majority of the work.
I'll take Murray in the revenge game.
But it does look like Jacobs is optimistic to play. Nemo.
Yeah. Yep, Jacobs optimistic.
And pick 2, Chris. The last 2.
The last 2, Chris. Ayuk and Lockett. Ayuk's on a heater. Lockett's he might not be a wide receiver 1 on the season anymore, but he's close. Lockett's been doing it, been delivering in a big way, and he's probably going to avoid Jalen Ramsey, who will be on DK.
Yeah, any prop bets on Chris Moore? Speaking of Nemo, is there any prop bets for Xavier out there for Chris Moore?
Texans wide receivers are always going to have a non-zero chance to do something just because we expect the offense to be playing.
But no Brandon Cooks ups his chances.
Deficit.
Yep.
Yeah, no, for sure. Although, last week Cooks played. He had 2 catches for 7 yards. Week 9 was the last time Cooks missed a game. Yeah, 4 for 43 and a touchdown. So, sure, yeah. And again, the Browns can be had in the secondary.
And I think I like Latavius Murray's workload more than I like Knight's right now, just because you do have to factor in Ty Johnson, and you do have to factor in to a certain extent James Robinson as well. So Latavius Murray, his role is pretty much unquestioned. Mike Boone isn't coming in and stealing much work. So yeah, I'm fine with that, and I'm not worried about ETN's workload at all.
Yeah,
I'm not worried about Marlon Mack either.
Nah. Fabian, as far as ETN's workload, am I sure? No, but over Tyler Boyd, I'm willing to take those chances with Jamar Chase back.
Yep.
And Denzel, it sounds like Mixon is a long shot to play. I would be right now today, at this very moment, I'm operating like he's out. I think you can safely operate like Mixon is going to miss today's game.
And Nemo, I think I would go Browns, Packers. The matchup against
Texans.
Chicago might be enticing, but they get Fields back, and I don't want to play opposing defense, not playing against him. So
especially the Packers, who can't stop the run.
Browns
against the Texans. Yep.
And Xavier, good. Hey,
there you go.
Funny how that worked out. And
go.
Yeah, go.
Like it.
Yeah, go get him. Go get him.
I like it.
New Era TB, Debo, McLaurin, Garrett Wilson, Palmer, Pickens, Patterson, Jeff Wilson, pick 4.
4.
McLaurin, Garrett Wilson, Pickens, Patterson.
Yeah. I'm fine with that. McLaurin, Wilson, Pickens, Patterson. I'm good with that. Debo is the odd man out because of the deep thigh bruise that he's dealing with. Yeah. McLaurin, Wilson, Pickens, Patterson. Yep, I'm good with all those, with all 4 of those.
But we are at the end of the chat here. If you guys have any more questions, let us know. Danzel, he threw one in there, so thank you. Just as a reminder, first link in the description is to join as a member. We have several different tiers. A 99-cent tier for anybody who's interested for some extra advice over the next month of the fantasy season. The most important, crucial part of the fantasy season. Gives you 2 extra streams a week with us. Might move down to 1 over the fantasy playoffs, and I think that we're just gonna do a joint stream on Thursday before the Thursday night games during the fantasy playoffs. But you do get just crucial access to us over that span, and only 99 cents a month. But also, evergreen link to the Discord and the second link in the description, so check that out as well. You can join our Discord. If you have any questions throughout the week, you can throw it in there. Our community will help crowdsource your answer for you, and also Nick is real active in there as well. So check those out. But last few questions here. Who would you start over Carr?
I mean, your usual suspects. Obviously, your big names.
QB1, Geno Smith. I think I would start Watson over him.
I would start Carr, I think, over Watson.
There's
a lot of quarterbacks I'm starting over Deshaun Watson today, just out of erring on the side of caution.
Yeah, I mean, Derek Carr is at the bottom of a tier for me.
Yeah, he's like around 15. He's a top 15
16.
option. He might give you a low end QB1 performance. He won't probably give you better than that, but he shouldn't absolutely crush you either.
Yeah, I want Fields, Cousins, Lawrence, Tua,
obviously
over him. Brady might be right below him, depending on your risk tolerance. I want Geno. Carr. I want Prescott. I want Watson. I want obviously top 5 guys that you can play this week too. So yeah. Anybody who's not basically a mid-tier QB1, I want.
Yep.
Tim Shields, pick 2. CPAT, Gus, Dillon, or Perrine. CPAT and Perrine.
Patterson and Samaje. Yep.
CL Sports Cards, full PPR. Flex, Garrett Wilson, Amari Cooper, Travis Etienne. That's tough.
That is brutal. Etienne should give you safest. A decent floor. Where are the Browns?
I would just play Etienne. If you're worried about Deshaun Watson, then don't play Amari Cooper this week. Then and I would go Etienne in full PPR over Garrett Wilson, knowing that he should get a fair amount of receiving work in his own right.
Etienne, Wilson, Cooper's third, just because. Yes, we're optimistic about him, like in the grand scheme of things with Watson back, but he's actually not been great on the road this year, Cooper. So first game, I'll sit. Cooper's not an option for me here. ETN is your perfectly safe play with a high floor. Wilson also has a pretty good floor, and not on the injury report. I'll play the running back. I'll play ETN in full. Yeah, I'll play ETN.
And Callie, yeah, slim pickings there. I think that is the best of the bunch, and just roll with it. But it's not going to be pretty moving forward.
Was ETN removed from the injury report? He was.
Yeah, I'm not worried about ETN in the slightest.
Good to go for Sunday.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll play ETN. CL Sports Cards. I'll play ETN.
And Danzel, I'm going Pittman and Sutton.
Yes, Pittman and Sutton.
And I'm going Ayuk, Mordenheim over Watson.
Ayuk's on a freaking heater right now. I think I gotta fire him up. I mean, Watson is too.
Does Murray score today?
The revenge game, he could.
Sure, revenge game narrative.
If they can get it on the goal line, could be a lot to ask of the Denver Broncos to move the ball into somebody's to the opposing team's territory. But yeah, maybe they just feed Murray in a revenge game.
And Trevor Lawrence is safer, but I still think I'm going Watson.
I would probably
for the same reason that we recommended. Hey, why don't you just play Jameson Williams today? Because I mean, you've likely been holding on to him as a bench stash for a while, and it is more exciting to play him than not play him. So for the same reason that we're like, hey, instead of Cam Akers, just play a Jameson Williams. I think unless you absolutely need this week, you're really still up against it, and you're fighting for your last spot, then Lawrence. And if you're a favorite or you're already in the playoffs or you're not too worried, I'm willing to go Watson and just have fun with the day.
I would probably go Lawrence and play it safe because the matchup is as good as it. It's against the Lions. Feel perfectly safe with that. Watson, just man, I just personally want to wait a week on Watson just because he hasn't played football for 2 years.
It really just depends how serious you're taking this game or not. If you're already in and you don't have anything to really play for, and you're just coasting to the playoffs and you can play it, loose or whatever, then go with Watson, I think, and then just have fun with the day.
Yeah, it depends on risk
what you need.
Right.
Brady, I think I would just go Herbert because Fields is coming off some kind of injury.
Yeah, I'll take
Herbert's
Herbert.
a top 3 option.
Yeah, I'll take Herbert. A little safer for just this week.
G-Soccer, what is the format? And you need 3 Mordenheim.
Need 3.5 PPR between those all these running backs. I would play Patterson,
Kamara, and White.
I'm not playing Kamara.
I know Kamara has been bad, man, but it is Kamara. A few weeks ago, we had 3 touchdowns.
Wasn't that against the Raiders?
Yeah.
The Bucs on the road.
He just, I think I would still play Kamara.
I am perfectly
over Zeke.
We're split on this, Mordenheim. I am more than comfortable sitting Alvin Kamara. I would play Zeke at home. I would play. Oh man, Christian Watson is also an option. I'm playing Patterson. I'm playing. I'll play Christian Watson. Yeah, I'll go there. Patterson, Christian Watson. Zeke is a floor play. White is an upside play.
Oh, I didn't see that Christian Watson there. So yeah, I'm going Christian Watson, Patterson, and White.
White is upside. Zeke is floor.
I didn't see Patterson there. If it wasn't for Patterson, I'd be playing Kamara. But moot point now.
Kamara and Gus are on the bench for me here, kind of easily. Sorry, Kamara.
And G-Soccer with the full PPR. In that case, I'm going Pittman.
You're going Pittman?
Would you drop the Eagles D straight up for the Bucs rest of the season? Yeah. Probably not, man.
The Eagles have some good matchups still.
If they can just get a little healthy, then they're scary.
Which they did. Jordan Davis was activated off IR. He helped. I mean, they get the
loss of
Giants,
Gardner Johnson
matchup.
over the next 4 games sucks. But I would just keep the Eagles, man.
Championship week against the Saints at home. I'm holding the Eagles.
And I'm not dropping any of those options. I want to hold all those guys for the playoffs.
Right.
Brady, pick 2. Taylor against Dallas, Saquon against Washington, Perrine against Kansas City. The first 2 sucks. You have to sit Perrine, but I'm willing to go with the first 2.
Sit Samaje, but those two are studs. You have to play Taylor. You have to play Saquon.
And John L. full PPR, Treylon Burks or Nico Collins this week. I think you just go Treylon Burks. He's been on a heater.
Better quarterback, better situation. I'll roll the dice on just the safer situation, and that's Burks.
Yeah. And Jamison Williams is not a must start.
No.
He's a desperation start.
He's a desperation start because we don't expect him to play a full complement of snaps, and it's his first game back off a torn ACL.
Yep.
So, no, he's not a must start. He's a desperation play.
And Jets defense for the playoffs. What do the Jets got?
What are their matchups? I don't think they get the Patriots again.
Buffalo, Detroit, Jacksonville. So hey, it's not the greatest.
I don't like it.
It's not the greatest.
I don't like it. The Jets defense is a drop, actually. In Minnesota today, no. In Buffalo next week, no.
Home
against the Lions,
who might have figured it out with Jamison Williams at that point and could be a little bit scarier.
Yeah, that could be fine because you get the Lions out of their dome. That could be fine. And then against Jacksonville again at home, that might be fine on a short week. In Seattle,
there are better matchups
17,
and better units. I think you can find a better defense.
Yeah, I'm not crazy about that. And
in terms of tight end booms, Kmet with no Darnell Mooney, with Justin Fields playing, is a solid bet. Tyler Higbee is a solid bet for a lot of volume. Foster Moreau is the number 1 there right now, so he's a tight end 1.
Revenge game against the Vikings. Ty Conklin.
Yeah, if you want to buy into that.
Ty Conklin,
Greg Dulcich, again, I'm willing to go back to that well one more week. Almost should have scored a touchdown last week. I'm willing to go back to that. Gerald Everett has had a couple of slow weeks. I'm willing to go back to that just based off of the offense that he's playing in with no Mike Williams. So there's a couple of spike week tight ends I'm willing to go with. And G Soccer, I like that squad. Tough to say if any team is a championship team without knowing the rest of the league, but I like that squad.
Yeah.
Between Everett or Higbee, ceiling
floor,
Everett,
ceiling
floor
Everett, yeah.
Higbee, yeah. And Brady, your last question here: Amon-Ra, Higgins, Kirk, Palmer, Judy, Lazard, pick 4. Amon-Ra, Higgins, Kirk, and Palmer.
The first 4.
Yeah. Yep.
The first 4.
But we were at the end of the chat here. If you guys have any more questions, let us know. But
you can pop them in the Discord again.
Yep.
Third link in the description of this video. We'll be in there for any last minute questions if you want to join the Discord.
Samaje, then ETN, then Sutton, Kemba.
Yeah, Samaje, then ETN.
And then ETN, and then David Montgomery. But I want to try playing David Montgomery if I can. Flex Lord Chino. So depending on who your other running backs are, like I want to be playing Montgomery too.
Yeah.
So is that a flex spot question? Let us know. G Soccer traded Everett and Godwin for TJ. Is that good?
I would not have done that.
Yeah, I wouldn't have done that either.
I wouldn't have traded Godwin. I mean, I get wanting a tight end upgrade, but
and
I would keep Godwin and
Hawkinson
stream.
has been very good over the last few weeks.
He's been very good, so that's good. That's nice that he's been delivering. I would prefer to have Godwin.
Yeah, Hawkinson. You're getting the tight end 3, and he's been probably the tight end 2 since week 7. If you look at what he's done, but yeah, that is a little tough. I like Godwin rest of season.
Yeah, I like Godwin rest of season.
And you had Ramondre. You already played him, and Cook. Yeah, you're not taking Cook out. So yeah, tough. But ETN. And Cade Smith, Pacheco, not knowing the format. And Tim Dillon is, he's a low-end RB3.
He's firmly on my bench.
Yeah, unexciting RB3.
Yep.
But what is the format for that last question, Cade? And then I think we're going to wind this stream down and get ready to
we got to get our
to red zone and all that. Yeah.
For
we got
football Sunday.
Yeah, we got to make our own lineups and all that.
Right. Any last minute questions can be dropped in the Discord again. Evergreen invite. Third link in the description. Third link in the description. Yep.
And solid G Soccer. You got to make moves. But
I'd rather have Godwin than Pittman.
Yeah, if that was a 1-for-1, even then, like I would have tried to. I don't know.
I would stream tight ends.
Yeah.
I would just stream tight ends. But I mean, the move is made. Let's see what happens,
And yes, KCD is worth a stash for the playoffs, and ETN is playing Greg Z. I'm not worried about it. ETN is playing.
No, he's off the injury report, Greg. We're good. ETN is fine for today and a great matchup against Detroit.
But thank you everybody for chilling. I hope everybody wins their matchups this week. I hope everybody enjoyed the stream. Thanks for subbing. Anybody you subbed, we appreciate it.
Yeah, appreciate it.
And yeah, well, I mean, we will be back here Tuesday stream for the waiver wire stream. Everybody enjoy your Sunday, and we'll see you on Tuesday.
Yep. Thanks everybody for coming and hanging out.
Peace, y'all.